And also it helps as well when you play with an inverted winger that becomes a number 10. So it opens up the spaces for you to be able to provide those passes. So what Mdonyela is doing, we've seen Modao doing, we've seen Tapelo Moreno doing. So it's a profile of the team.
You like that finish. Every time you see it, you're in love with the way Jaden Adams takes his time.
Thomas, it's not about how Jaden Adams finishes. For me, it's about who initiates the play. Is Allende on the center circle. He's connecting with Ribeiro, who has emptied the space. When Mdonyela receives that ball, he's in the last line. And when you look at Mamelodi Sundowns players in the last line, it's 3 players in the last line. If you roll it again, you'll be able to see it, to say, look at Allende. He's on the center circle. Mokoena has created space for him by dropping out, so that is the only midfielder that is receiving around the center circle. Now, this is Allende. Mokoena has moved away. He's looking like a left back. That's Mokoena. Now, when you progress the ball to Ribeiro, he has emptied that space next to Peter Shalulile. Then who uses that space next to Peter Shalulile? It's supposed to be Ribeiro there. But Ribeiro now is into a role where Jaden Adams is supposed to be. Then Jaden Adams is smart enough to say, okay, Ribeiro is there. Okay, I need to take Ribeiro's space. Now, Mdonyela brings in the cross. It's Jaden Adams that is in the last line. The composure for me, he slows down. He lets the 2 center backs commit, the goalkeeper commit. And it's just a deft chip for me to find the goal. The tactical flexibility in this Mamelodi Sundowns team, amazing.
Now, Teko, when it comes to Tashreeq Matthews, that's a player you enjoy, and his ability and how much quality he brings, especially in front of the net.
Look, when you speak of the youngsters in South Africa, youngsters want to be always on the ball. They hardly play off the ball. And Tashreeq is one of those players that has a profile of being able to be so effective without the ball. He gets into the right spaces. And here, of course, it is a touch that gets to Shalulile. It's a long ball that is from Ronald Williams. But Tashreeq will never find him anywhere else but around those areas, because he makes those type of runs. And also, it helps as well that, within his play as well, he is also a good finisher. So it brings a different dimension to Sundowns forwards, and he's such an important player.
And then as we look now, Mamelodi Sundowns continuing to pour forward. They're 2 up. And there he is, Matthews, finding the net.
Yeah, arriving right on time, late but on time. I mean, that's always very difficult to mark that deep line, sort of entering midfield type of run. And he does well. The way he sort of just comes in, darts to sort of like the near post to give himself a nice angle, opens up the foot. There's a little bit of a fortuitous, deflection that takes it towards goal. But again, you have to be in the right positions to earn the type of line, and it's a wonderful run.
Now, you mentioned, as we look at this goal here, that you felt Eric Mbongasom still adapting to South African football. And that second goal that Mamelodi Sundowns scored, there was a lot that you felt he could really do differently and maybe learn from. So maybe take me through that.
Yeah, I mean, look, for me it starts, with a direct ball. One thing I can tell you, Thomas, whenever there's been a direct ball that's being played and hasn't been dealt with, it was absolute fireworks in the change room. You do not live to accept that.
That ball from Williams.
That ball there. It is obvious where the ball is coming. Williams is right outside his box. He looks like a centre-back. He's standing still. And incredibly, for an international player, to not sort of set your body and prepare for it is the problem. So I think, honestly, if you look at where Ribeiro is, he's sort of just like the offside player. And a lot of time, strikers used to do this, and anytime they did it, I'd be like, listen, you are done. Because you need to be able to see through that. Because what happens is, it's there to blindside you. You see him, he's offside, so then you just focus on what's in front of you. Meanwhile, there's a deep line run from your fullbacks, basically, from your fullbacks in towards your space. And the ball gets played over your head. Because why? You're just worried about what you see in front of you, right? Now, in that case, we know Ronald Williams has a wonderful foot. We know Sundowns play from the back. It doesn't, you need to do your homework. Admittedly, even though he's an international, he is a new player to our league. Perhaps he doesn't know this. But for me, the picture's already there. He's literally like a centre-back, way outside his box, and he's literally about to pick.
So when you see Ronwin go there, what are you saying Mbongasom should do? Ronwin comes out, he pushes out. At that point, he should be what? Getting on his back, getting backwards?
At least, Thomas, side on. Because only 2 things can happen. You're either going to go forward or you're going to go backwards. But if you stay flat and you watch the ball coming, and then only when it's in the air you decide to turn, you're always in trouble. And that's why he's had to sort of lunge blindsided, trying to bring it down, which is just about impossible, because now you're having to do some 9-1-1 type of defending when you really didn't have to, had you prepared in time.
There you go. Breaking it down beautifully there. Let's look at the stats. What do they tell us? It's going to be some really unpleasant reading for Matatanta fans. 4 shots on target compared to the 7 for Mamelodi Sundowns. The possession stats, it's what you expect. Sundowns dominate possession.
I think the game was finished in the first 45 for me. The way Mamelodi Sundowns were able to control the tempo of the game, decide when to lift it, when to bring it down, decide when they play through the center, when they go through the side to Mamelodi Sundowns. I thought a well-managed game. The midfield of Mamelodi Sundowns had total control.
Bongs, Deko, in your days at Matatanta, 5 corners, none of them turning into the back of the net?
Not in my days.
It was post.
It was post, man.
Oh, in your days, Deko.
That is our generation.
No, it is Bong's generation. We don't play set piece.
Belezovjani.
Aye, that's I don't know you know how to fleet, my brother.
Okay, Bongs, in your days. 5 corners, nothing.
That would be not even 5 corners today, nothing. The mere fact that we've gone halfway through the season and your defenders haven't scored, I can tell you that would have been a problem. That would have definitely been a problem. And there would have been questions asked. When are you going to score?
Because the defense is the set piece. It's the set piece. You need to be turning them into goals.
100%, because it is worked on. It is an opportunity. And let's be honest, South Africa, we don't necessarily have the biggest of players in most teams. So with a little bit of aggression and quality on the ball, actually, before we actually started production, we were playing old Supersport versus Sundowns games. And you played a free kick into Kekane and we scored the winner in the 83rd minute. That's what we used. That was our daily bread. It was expected. And in that game, it was 0-0. 83rd minute, he takes a free kick on Kekane's head, goal, you win 1-0. We lived on that 1-0.
Well, that 1-0 is gone for the time being for Supersport United. Hopefully they will be able to find something in the games that come up as far as the second half of the season is concerned for Gavin Hunt and his men. And the signings have come in, guys. I mean, they have made the signings now. Maybe it was just too soon with the Sundowns game for those signings to make an impact. And obviously with Mabuya not being able to play today, it was one of those, the long injury list. Can you see them turning the corner? Can that still be a season they can salvage?
I think so, because you do have a coach that has the know-how. And there's also the reason why Lebo Mabuya goes there, because there is a little bit of a problem with Magamanda being playing as well as a playmaker. So you need a Lebo Mabuya in the team. But also with all the new players as well, all of us were new at some point to any team to be able to adjust to it. And I think within the structure that Coach Gavin has, of course, as much as it's frustrating for him not to get the maximum results, or to even get results, rather, to get numbers on the board. It is a season that probably they must start, preparing for next season right now. As to the players that they have, will they be able to compete next season? Because Bongs is thinking about the set piece. And in every Gavin Hunt's team, you always have a very good specialist in terms of set pieces. You look at the team that was playing today, none of them is. And we spoke about earlier that back then, when Coach Gavin Hunt was dominating type of ball, he had good crossers of the ball. In the system that he has, he doesn't have the good crossers of the ball. So even Junokovic now becomes not effective in the box because you don't have good crossers of the ball. But maybe those are areas that Coach Gavin Hunt will be looking at to see then what is it that he can do to build in the second next season. But as things are right now, I think they will be able to salvage the league.
I think for me, it's the big question is how are they going to manufacture goals? Because they only have 6 goals. They are the worst scorers in the league, together with Makesi. What Bongani is speaking about is how goals are manufactured at Supersport through set pieces. You're talking about a Supersport team that you used to know that the centre backs will share 7-8 goals a season. That is only the defense. That was one way for them to manufacture goals, was via set pieces. It's via diagonal balls that are played to wing positions, and those wingers bring in the ball, the target men are taking the ball. Are we seeing that identity in this Supersport side team? The answer would be no, because of the type of goals that they're scoring, and they're not scoring goals. So, and also, when they were scoring those set pieces, the back door was shut. The back door is not shut at the moment. It's not a Gavin Hunt type of team that is conceding balls through the middle like that. It's a Supersport team we showed earlier in our build-up how they considered goals against Amazulu. It's a Supersport team that is dealing with the first phase of defending. The second phase, they are not set when the ball is dropping in and around the box, and that is the problem that Gavin has to try and fix.
But also, to be fair as well, the profile of players has changed, and football has changed. Football has evolved. You back then we used to strive on having a centre midfielder that is covering so much space to protect the two centre backs. Lately now, everybody has to be a ball player. Even centre backs now has to be ball players. So the profile of the players has actually changed. And if it would be unfair for us to still say, but this is not a governance team, because the governance then had the profile for the system that he wanted to play. Right now, he doesn't have one. So then, how then does he adjust? I think that should be the question that we need to ask. How then does he adjust to what the football now requires? Because you've got Ndlovu, who is short in the midfield. You had Morale, who was also short in the midfield. You have Pochenpu. He's a ball player. He's not a player that will go in and graft you. And when Mahaman is fit, he's also an attacking midfielder. So the profiling of the players, that's the challenge that he has to, as a coach, to be able then to evolve within the players of the profile of the players that he has.
Let's move on to what's going on as far as the Orlando Pirates are concerned. That game was, if you've ever seen a game of two halves, Sekhukhue United came and almost got something out of that game in the dying moments against Orlando Pirates. But in the first moments, and this was the problem for Mutsu, the first moments of each half were not what Sekhukhue would have wanted as Pirates. From the set piece, find the back of the net from Dion Hotto.
Critical phase of the game. A lot of errors. The wall shouldn't be jumping or the wall shouldn't be breaking. The goalkeeper should be guarding that near post. He's expecting a cross for the big boys that have gone up. Dion Otto will say thank you very much. He'll take the goal any day and run away with it. But there's a lot of errors. Look at the way.
Doesn't even go under the wall. What wall?
That's the thing.
It goes like they jump and it even goes around the wall.
It goes around the wall.
And they're turning their backs.
If your wall can see the ball hit the back of the net, there's a big problem.
Yeah.
They got a great view.
There's a big problem.
Wow, that was something that I'm sure Leshono Siema will be looking at in practice over the next couple of days and saying, guys, that's not what we worked on. What a finish from Makaula. Man of the match on the weekend. The 35-year-old told me, I'm the oldest man on the field, but he is delivering.
Yeah, do they call it the purple patch? Umnandi man.
Yeah. Otto's cross.
No, Makaula kuyahlangana, Thomas. Izinto ziyahlangana. Take nothing away from that cross. Inch perfect. On his stride. Missed the ball at the highest point. Gets the goal, Makaula. Gets man of the match. I thought a well-taken cross from Otto. All Makaula needed to do is just redirect or change the direction of the ball slightly, gets his opening one for the league.
Also, I mean, you're right, though, because if you don't see the jersey number and you don't see the face, you don't guess it's Makaula. That is just not him.
No, you don't. The one thing I'll say is he was talking about being 35, being the oldest player.
That was on the derby, yeah. The whole
when he was dancing at the corner flag with those knees, he still looks young. Why is he not doing that at 35?
Malone played at Soweto derby over the weekend and he's flying in the air like that one in the second half. Right in the beginning of the second half. And again, you're talking about that critical phase. Right at the top of the second half, guys. Sekhukhue go 2-0 down. And that's maybe just made that a bridge too far for them.
Yeah, because we spoke about managing the game and managing the legs as well. You're from a high-tempo game, high-demanding game over the weekend, and of course you're playing Sekhukhue as well in the top four. You also want to get the maximum points as soon as possible. So it becomes a little bit difficult as well, going to the game that you want to score a little bit early. But once you do that, then you're able then to slow down and conserve a little bit of energy. And it was so important as well to score that second goal early on, to be able now to find your feet and then to be able to make those substitutions, because we saw then later on the substitutions that were made. But also I think from that cross as well from Hoto, we once spoke about it in depth in the beginning of the game. I said whenever he's playing on the right, he becomes such a dangerous player. And you can see once he fixes it on his left, even me as a midfielder, I'll forever run inside the box because I know the cross is coming. Whether it's a good cross or not, but for the fact that the cross is coming.
Now it did.
You get inside the box. Yeah, you get inside the box because he's one of the good crossers of the ball. And he's playing inverted. You know that there's going to be an in-swinger, so it allows you to get in. Makaula now, who normally, if we have to really, really speak about positions, we're like, but he's a 6, not supposed to be there. Football is involved. So now he finds the space, he sees that there's a gap between the two centre-backs, he gets in there, that's where he gets his goal.
Yeah, that's actually a good point, Yeah, that's actually a wonderful point you just highlighted. Because a lot of times strikers, if you see hot on the left foot, chances are he's going to chop it. And sometimes strikers will make the run, he chops it. And then the next time, striker makes a run, or striker doesn't make the run, and then the ball goes across the face. How many times have you seen that? But that's a wonderful point in that because he's inverted, when he chops, he's gonna, because he loves left foot.
You have to.
It is 100% given that the ball's coming. And that makes your decision as any attacking player, even as a Makau, who's a deep lying midfielder, can trust that the ball will come. So that's actually quite brilliant. Yeah.
Right, so let's move on because this is going to be spoken about, and I'm sure spot on Monday. Make sure you join us for that on Extra Time. We'll be asked about this. Lyndon Tambo starts this movement off with a absolute rocket. I think we're looking at, is this the right moment that I'm looking at? Okay, here he comes. Linda pulls the trigger, boom. Chain save. The drop across, and then that finish. That's the finish that I think Ace still needs to talk about, guys, because I find Van Rooyen sitting on the floor, holding his leg, and our stats not showing nothing here.
No. The one thing I'll tell you is, Ntambo, the goal scorer, is motivated. From the shot all the way to the finish, that is a motivated man.
Yeah, it is. And also, like, interested to see where the...
Now it describe a finish.
A finish.
What is it called?
It's a finish, it's a goal.
But what is that?
What do you mean by bizarre?
No, there's other, they're going to delicate, cheapy, going to deft, well placed, the level bizarre.
No, I don't know the name. Maria Count. But also, like Bongane said, like it's so highly motivated from the shot, 40 yards, and then he still makes the run inside the box. I'm interested to see whether the initial shot itself was on target or not. Because I think I was going on with Bongs about it. Because I think when China saved it, you look at the position where he was, and it brings it back into the game. Of course, then the ripple effect in terms of goal.
Guys, does Van Rooyen have a case for foul here, or not at all?
Not for me. And I hope we can slow that moment down, because the thing about a defender is this is awkward, because if you look at him, he's waiting for the ball to drop. That's the problem. He hasn't lifted his foot. Now, if you roll it here, right, he makes a movement there. He's waiting for it to drop so he can clear it. But before he even lifts up his foot, the ball's already in the net. So that now takes away the opportunity of it being a foul. So essentially, when the ball, and it's so awkward for defenders when that happens, when the ball pops up, you want to wait for it, but you can't. So if you're not using your body, or you're not basically putting your ankle on the line, you cannot ask for a foul, unfortunately.
And the term we were looking for, me and you, Dick, was bundled in. It's bundled in.
No, Thomas, just to add to that, I don't see a foul, because Dino does not attempt to play the ball. If he attempted to play the ball, then you can start speaking about stars and whatnot. But for me, it's the energy, it's the hunger, it's the determination to get to the ball first from Lyndon Tambo. He gets there first. But had Dino attempted to play the ball, then we can be having those questions. But he doesn't lift up his foot, so that's why I'm saying it's a clear goal from Tambo.
Maybe also because he's worried about the game over the weekend.
What's there to worry about, Dico?
For him not to injure his ankle. I mean, those are the worries that you're concerned about for Mamelodi Sundowns.
What would have injured his ankle there? The high foot stats showing?
I'm just saying.
No, I'm asking, were the high foot and the stats showing?
There was no stats showing. I'm saying if he...
There were no stats showing?
Bongani said if he put his ankle on the line.
Yeah.
So I'm basing my...
Because that was a dangerous situation?
It was never dangerous because he was never involved. It only became dangerous when he got involved, but he was not involved, so it's not dangerous. Maybe he was also worried about Saturday.
Saturday, I show.
No, I super away, I show me.
I'm a viewer. I'm going to be watching Saturday and absolutely enjoying Saturday and thinking, wow, what an incredible encounter. Unfortunately, nobody goes into the encounter injured from the match tonight. Mamelodi Sundowns coming through it unscathed, and it looks like, as far as Pirates are concerned, especially with that one there with Van Rooyen, he shook it off and continued. But let's go take a look at how Pirates asked a couple of questions. Sangare tried to make sure that he put behind him how he started the game with the goal going through his legs. Here he is. Some big saves.
This is a big save. I mean, really does so well to shift the ball and create the opportunity in the space. Just lacking a little bit of power in terms of just finding that bottom corner. But you have to applaud just the creativity, just a little quick body movement, get the space, get your shot off. I mean, that's top class. Look at that. 1-2, the shot is off, but just lacks that little bit of power to be more threatening.
And he's really looking to place it, right? We've seen him do that before, looking to find that far corner. Again, quick movement from Pirates, and off they come down this left-hand side, Marco.
Yeah, a different type of player from Dion Otto, who usually plays in that position. Marco does get the width in this instance. I thought maybe Tito took a little bit too long. I thought there was a moment that he could have taken it a little bit earlier. I thought go for the chip in this instance, but a good ball coming from Marco, looking for somebody to attack that near post, as played slightly behind Mahopa. I thought Tito could have taken it just before that moment and go across the goalkeeper. I thought take it there, but he took a little bit longer trying to go for that chip. But let's take nothing away from Sangare, who makes a great save.
Ulipanenga. What could have been done differently there? Because not taking that chance then creates a lot of pressure as Sekhukhue really build on the fact that they're one goal away from an equalizer.
Yeah, like I think Pumuzo summed that very, very well, because then if you look at the second frame into not him taking that shot, already there's a cover from a defender on the side that he wanted to go to. Now it forces him now to think on his feet. That's why now he's trying to chip. But if he take it a little bit earlier across the goalkeeper, there was nobody there. He could have scored it. But also, man, as a footballer, skillful as Tito is, you always sometimes want to overthink things when you get into those type of areas. And I think if he could have went with his first instinct, he could have scored the goal.
Now, the pressure's on. Sekhukhue are sniffing that, listen, we're still in it. It's only 2-1, and there's a couple of minutes left in this encounter, and they really did come. Now it was the men in red.
Yeah, they did. I mean, Uli Namtamba is a captain. I mean, surely showed the spirit, the fight-back spirit, and got the goal, got them back in. Not a pretty goal. Sometimes in these type of games, you need an ugly goal to get everyone, sort of on side and motivated again to go on and win it. And this is where, Pirates will look back. To be fair, I think you said this. I mean, this is where you look back at a season after winning like a league. These are the games you go back and be like, you know what? This game made us champions, because it got tough. It was difficult. The load, big fixture on the weekend, difficult midweek, another challenge of the weekend, but we've got across the line when we needed it. From a threatening opposition. I mean, Sekhukhue are knocking. They're fourth. They were doing really, really well. So that is a statement for Pirates.
Speaking of knocking, in the dying moments of this one, there were like 96, 97 more minutes played in this encounter. And right here at the death, 97th minute, the question is being asked. Penalty? Gentlemen, what's the answer? They're all waiting for the replay. I can see they're looking at it and saying...
If I may, we've all heard this, strikers win you games, right? The two gentlemen to my left, they win me games, but guess who wins you the league? Defenders. And that's CBC. That is a big, big, big block. That is what wins you the league.
Where does it hit? Chest?
Chest.
Comfortable? Chest?
Abdominal area. I think it hits him just under the chest in that moment. But one thing,
every player in red is appealing.
No, but you go for the gamble there. The referee might not have seen it properly. He sees the hands go up. He points to the spot. But by the time Aisa figure on Monday at the spot on decision, 3 points in game. So in that moment, I thought he put his body well on the line. You can see again the second phase of defending that ball. Makaula puts his body on the line again. And it's the experienced players that are putting their hands up to make sure that Paris goes back to Josie with that 3 points.
So clarify for me, guys, that's just desperation in the appeal, nothing genuine in the appeal.
No, for me.
So that's how players do it, Berlin. Desperate appeal, last half, asfagure preparation.
No, you know that saying where they say, words have power. You speak into existence type of thing. Maybe it's that.
I was wondering.
Maybe it's that.
It didn't exist, the referee not seeing it. But we'll keep looking and we'll find out whether Ace thinks similarly on Monday on Extra Time. Let's hear what the man of the match. Let's hear what the coaches had to say on an entertaining night's football at the old Peter Mokaba Stadium.
Back-to-back player of the match awards. Congratulations. A solid shift today from you and the entire team.
Sislindile. First of all, I would like to thank God, thank my teammates, thank the technical team. It was really hard today, even though we managed to score 2 goals. But I think they are substitutes. They really got us in the back foot, defending at the back. So it was really difficult, but good effort from the team.
The 1v1 battles, the team effort from this team, you guys backing each other through and through the 90 minutes.
I think it starts from the training, and we played on Saturday, and we were off on Sunday. I think our technical team, they're doing a great job for us to recover, and obviously the analyst guys, we knew what we're up against, and it's Sekhukhue. They have ball players, and we needed to grind the 3 points away from home, and this is what happens. And the last 15 minutes it was hard because they brought Lindam Tambo, and then he was fresh. They brought the winger. It was really difficult, but we managed to soldier on.
It's got a beauty of a goal, a header.
Yeah, it's something from training, and it's the coach who's always encouraged me to go to the post, and I think I got one, but I shift the blame to relay, but I told myself that no, if another one comes, then I'll score.
There's another big match coming up on Saturday.
Woo! Yeah, we need to recover well and prepare ourselves. Forget about this game. This game is gone. We need to focus on Sundowns.
Thank you so much. Well done tonight. Makehleni Makaula, our Betway Premiership Player of the Match. Very delighted with the performance. Walked away with the award as well on Saturday against Amakosi. As we bring in the head coach now, Coach Jose Rivera. Fantastic performance. Are you happy with how you played with both goals coming in the early minutes of each half?
Very happy. We know how difficult it is to play here, and the level of the opponent, how difficult it was the second half. It's true that we should have capitalized all the opportunities that we created in the first 45 minutes to have a comfortable result, but we couldn't. And we fought like a team in the second half. We managed to resist against a very good team in a very difficult field to play football one more time. So it's an excellent result. Massive 3 points for us, and one more achievement for this team to win away here against Sekhukhue.
Losing Thabiso Susane in the first half, did it affect your game plan in any way?
No, it's always an inconvenience, obviously. The game plan is not going to change, was not compromised, but you need time to adjust against some positions, some behaviors, also for Tapelo to come in an unexpected way. It was difficult for him in the beginning to get the pace, to get the rhythm, but little by little I think we managed to be ourselves, like I said, especially in the first half and in the beginning of the second leg. Once they introduced the last subs and just gambling a little bit and looking for deep balls to the striker with Linda in between lines, it was a little bit more difficult to contend. I think we gave away a lot of balls, a lot of fouls. Actually, I think their goal is coming from one situation where we have a good transition that we didn't read very well, and immediately we are defending in our box. Anyway, one game to put in our back in terms of resilience. We're coming from a derby, a tough one. It's a really demanding week for the team, and so far the behavior of the team, the performance is second to none.
You were able to give a few players some minutes. Is it because you wanted to rest some of the players like Porto for Saturday?
Not at all. We came here thinking in these 3 points, even with the 2-0, there's always a temptation to think that maybe we close and we can have the opportunity to rest players, but was not the case. We have to fight until the end. Every sub we made was due to some different circumstances, but never thinking in the next game.
Thank you so much. All the best for Saturday.
Thank you so much.
Coach Jose Rivera of Orlando Pirates, the next take on Mamelodi Sundowns at the weekend. Let's bring in Coach Sekhukhue now of Supersport United to take a look at both goals and how they came in and when they came in? Was it the lapses of concentration for the first two goals from Orlando Pirates?
Yeah, I think a bad start from us. That early goal really put us on the back foot against them, and I think we tried. We did everything, and second half again, between the two centre backs and the midfielder comes, and then the free header like that, then it becomes difficult even more. But credit must go to the guys who kept on pushing. We made some changes that came and gave us a lot of energy. Yeah, we have lost, but I think we played well. We showed a lot of fight in ourselves.
We spoke about that firepower from the bench. We saw Linda Mtambo coming in against his former side and making a major impact.
Yeah, look, everybody is eligible to play. We're always trying to give everyone a chance and then trying to make sure that we balance so that our team can have energy throughout 90 minutes. The way we finished, we can see that we kept on going until the last minute. Yeah, that is it.
There were a few golden opportunities, particularly from Keleto as well as Bukiso Mashamu.
Yeah, if we don't score goals, then he's going to lose the matches. So it was unlucky that we did not convert the chances. But the thing is, if we keep on attacking like that, even when we were 2 goals down or 2-1 down, but we kept on going. But unfortunately, we couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. It's very disappointing for the players. I can feel for them because they worked hard. They deserved at least a point. But yeah, we keep on pushing. We will fight. We will see on the next game.
Thank you so much, Coach. Good luck against Supersport.
Thank you very much.
Coach Letono Siema, he obviously feels that they could have at least walked away with a point against Orlando Pirates. 7 league meetings now between Babina Noko as well as Edgar Magepula, and it's Orlando Pirates who register a 4th league win over Sekhukhue United. It ends in a 2-1 win for Ednyama Ngekani. They march on as they take on Mamelodi Sundowns at the weekend, with Sekhukhue playing away to Supersport United. That's the story here from the old Bitamogaba Stadium.
The stats, what kind of reading do they make? Pirates, a team that really does enjoy dominating possession, had to go almost 50-50 today with Sekhukhue.
I thought the first half, I thought they dominated the ball well. They looked after the ball well. But I need to give it to Siema. The substitutions that he made to influence the game, elevate the game to the next level, really turned the second half of the game around.
Speaking of substitutes, there was that 18th minute change, guys, that we didn't have time at halftime to discuss, but with Sasani going off, Toki coming in, there is going to be a question around the weekend. That combination at the back for Pirates has been rock solid with him part of it. If he doesn't play, is it a blow?
I don't think so. I think purely because, at least Toki got some good minutes under his belt today. I think that's always important. Speaking from a defender's point of view, it's always so difficult to come into a high-profile fixture, cold. If Sasani then finished the game and all of a sudden we hear he's not fit, and now you having to start, having missed a midweek game, personally, I hated that situation. It puts you in such a back foot because you've missed a day of training. Tomorrow you can't really do much to sort of get your body where it needs to be. But to get those type of minutes in today's game, for me, Toki is more than prepared to handle what's at the weekend. The only question is, what would it look like in terms of partnership and understanding?
All right, so there you go. Now, that match is eagerly anticipated. We're going to be headed to a quick break. After the break, there's still more to come your way, but the game on the weekend, everybody is talking about it. Tickets are unavailable. I know, Pomoto, when we walked into the building today, there were a couple of requests for tickets. Could you help?
No, it's a Sundowns game.
Oh, okay. So Mamelodi Sundowns game.
Oh, wow.
Why is he saying the Sundowns game?
No, it's a Sundowns game.
So Teko has the ticket.
No, it's a Sundowns game. It's not a Paris game.
Oh no, Sizagu, we're
have,
going to be discussing tickets with Teko, but he said clearly he's the man who's been identified as holding the most tickets.